Hello guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, and today I'm going to be talking about Mario Golf Super Rush. So far, I'm actually really enjoying it. I know a lot of people are kind of disappointed by it, and I am disappointed by it with a few aspects, but overall, I think it's a really solid game, and I think it's really fun, and it definitely is one of the better Mario Golf games in my opinion. And I feel like all of the different modes have a lot of variety, which I'm really enjoying, and I feel like each mode feels vastly different from each other, unlike the older games. And I feel like the older games, even though the games overall were really good, I feel like the different modes were too similar to standard golf. Like with this game, I feel like each of the mode is very different from each other. Like standard golf, you just play golf kind of like the older games, then you have a lot of different options for that. Then you could play at the same time or take turns. Then speed golf, it's just a fast-paced race kind of thing, which is really fun. I know speed golf was in the older games, but it was a lot different than it is in this game. Like in this game, you could actually move around and you have stamina. And there's battle golf, where you're in like an arena and you have to see who gets 3 holes first. And then there's Golf Adventure, which is a whole RPG mode, which I'm really enjoying, and I might even enjoy it as much as the Game Boy Advance one. And then there's also like motion control options, and then you can play online, but we'll get to those in a little bit. So we'll start off with Standard Golf. Standard Golf feels really good, and I'm really enjoying the gameplay with this. Even though they have a different system from the 3-click from the older games, I actually really enjoy this new system. I feel like the shape shot and trying to get your accuracy by not doing enough power or not doing too much power is actually a really interesting mechanic, and it involves a lot more strategy with your thoughts, and you have to think about where you're going. And I feel like there's more strategy involved than the older games, and I feel like it's definitely my favorite gameplay of the series, and I'm just really enjoying it. And I just really like the standard golf. All of the different courses are really good, but I do have a problem with the courses. Not the courses themselves. I know some people are calling them generic, but I feel like they look really good, and they kind of remind me of Super Mario Odyssey, and I feel like they do have their own Mario aspects to them. I feel like if you go more into the courses, they feel a lot better. The first couple holes kind of feel a little bland, and then when you go into the actual game and everything, and then you kind of get into more of the later holes of the courses, they feel a lot better, and I feel like there's more enemies, and they just look really nice. I really like how they kind of look like Super Mario Odyssey, and they even have 3D world enemies, which is pretty cool. But my problem with the courses is that there's only 6. I don't know why they couldn't just implement 10 into the final game and everything. I know they probably completed those courses. I might want to do a separate rant one of these days, because even though this game is really good, I feel like it's kind of pushed back with the fix-it-later approach, with the courses and everything. And that's why I feel like some people are going to get this game later, because they're going to add more courses later. And I mean, I think it's fine if they're going to add maybe 3 courses, and they already have 10 or 12 courses in the game. But if they're adding half of the courses into the game after launch, I'm not sure how many they're going to do after launch, it's just kind of disappointing. I would love to have that New Donk City course at launch, because that looks amazing. They showed it off at E3. I mean, I hope it's coming out in July, because that looks really good. But even though it falls back in some issues, with the fix-it-later approach, I feel like the content still feels solid. It still feels solid enough for a $60 game. I know that's kind of debatable, but it still feels like there's a good amount of content here. But I'll go into the other modes in a bit, but overall, I really enjoy the standard golf mode, but let's go ahead and start talking about speed golf. And I feel like speed golf is definitely the highlight for the multiplayer in this game, because it's really fun. I just feel like it's very action-packed, and you have stamina, and you have to try to both be skilled and fast at the same time, and it's just really fun and satisfying to get really good shots in. You get a chip shot, a birdie, good things like that. and you're doing it really fast, and you're doing it faster than the others. And it's really fun online too when it's not lagging. I haven't really experienced that much lag with this game, kind of less than 3D World. So I think it's really good so far. I feel like Nintendo is kind of upgrading their servers, or at least the online system and everything. And speaking of the online system, they actually have invites in this game, which is pretty interesting. So moving on to like the Battle Golf, I feel like Battle Golf is pretty solid too. It might not be as good as Speed Golf, but I'll have to play it more. And Battle Golf is really fun. I like how you can you like kind of capture the different holes and everything, and it's really nice. I really enjoy it, and there's like different items and different things that you can do, and you can do like strategy, and you can do different things like that. And then there's also a technical course too, so it's really fun. And I think it's really interesting to see golf played in like a big stadium like that. I mean, like you usually think of like tennis or even the Mario Strikers series when you think of like a big stadium like that. But I think it's really fun, and I feel like it's almost kind of like the Mario Strikers of golf, because it's just like really crazy, and then there's all these different moves going on, and different things like that. And so that's basically the multiplayer modes. I know there's like sub-modes within these modes, like there's different things you can apply on there, so there is a lot of different opportunities on there, and a lot of different options. And before we get into Golf Adventure, I want to talk about the characters, because the characters are really cool. Even though the roster isn't, like, as big as a lot of people are expecting, I still feel like it's pretty solid. Like, we have 17 characters, which is technically more than Aces at launch, because I feel like Aces had 16 and it didn't have the option to have customizable Miis and everything. But I feel like with the Mii option, it's pretty cool, even though the Miis are kind of broken. You could do like a whole match with Miis, I think. But I really think the characters are nice. I really like King Bob-omb. I think that's a really random inclusion, but I really like that they added him. And I might actually main that character. And they also have Pauline and Charge and Chuck, and then they have a few others too, a lot of the core base characters. And their golf attire looks really nice. I made my mascot for this channel have golf attire, because I really liked how they had golf attire on the characters. And just as someone who plays golf, I think that's a really nice touch, and I really like that they did that. And moving on to my favorite part of the game so far, I know it's kind of tied with Speed Golf, but I know I keep saying my favorite mode, but I guess this and Speed Golf are kind of tied as my favorite mode. But Golf Adventure is actually really good. And I mean, it's not as in-depth as like something like that Toadstool Tour, but Advanced Tour on the GBA. That was really good, and it's almost like that. I feel like some aspects of it are almost at the Toadstool Tour, Advanced Tour level of story mode. But I feel like it's a lot better than like Mario Tennis Aces story mode, because the story mode in Mario Tennis Aces was very bare bones. And basically you just move throughout this map, and you just complete different things, and you get a boss, and then you just move on, and it's really short, and it's really disappointing. Like, there's barely any upgrade system. Like, I think there is, like, some kind of upgrade system, but it's much more involved in Mario Golf Super Rush, and it's much more enjoyable. I feel like the story mode in Mario Golf Super Rush is a lot better, and there's just more going on, and I feel like the different worlds are more fleshed out, there's more characters, the bosses are better, and it's just really good. I'm just really enjoying it so far, but I do have a couple problems with it. The cross-country golf in World 2 is just really tedious. I don't hate it, but it's just really tedious. I mean, on paper, it sounds like a good idea, as anything like communism, but when it actually plays out on like the worst course to do it, like on a rocky mountain area, it's just really hard. Like, I mean, I think the cross-country golf would actually work well on like the desert course. Maybe not the desert course, because that one's kind of linear. I feel like maybe the Bonnie Greens, the rookie course, maybe even like the woods. I feel like cross-country golf would actually work, somewhat well there if it had a lot of connections between the holes, and not these big cliffs you have to find a tornado to walk over to. And I feel like the shot limit is alright, but I mean, like, I feel like if you could, like, do more shots than that, or less, to make it a challenge, if it's its own separate mode, I feel like it's both really tedious and almost borderline, like, impossible in some cases, to, actually a pretty interesting mode that they could implement. Like, I feel like the one course that they showed off for that is just, like, the worst one. Like, I don't know why they chose that. Like, they really should have done that, like, as, like, a one-time, mission in the first world. It would have worked well in the first world. Like, let's say after the, tournament or whatever, you have to do one, cross-country golf thing, and then maybe one in the forest, too. But not that stupid mountain course. I do like that course on, like, speed golf and standard golf, but they executed it horribly in, cross-country golf. And I'm just really enjoying the story mode so far. The rest of it is fine. The rest of it is really good. It's just that one world. But I think the story mode is pretty good overall. I'm really enjoying it, and it's a lot more in-depth than the one in Mario Tennis Aces. So overall, I am really enjoying Mario Golf Super Rush, and I really can't recommend it quite yet because I haven't finished the game. But I also think, like, there's also a lot of content that they need to add in the game in order to make it like a fleshed out Mario Golf game. But honestly, this might be a popular opinion, especially with what I said earlier about some of my negatives with this game. It's actually my favorite Mario Golf game, tied with Toadstool Tour. I mean, Toadstool Tour does some things better, but then Super Rush also does some things better. And then I feel like each does some things better and some things worse, and I feel like they both have pros and cons. But I feel like they're both really good games, and I'm just really enjoying this game so far. And honestly, if they add, like, a good amount of content in this game, even though I really don't like the fix-it-later approach when it's being used in that way, I feel like it hurt Mario Tennis Aces more because they kept out basic quality of life things in that game. And at least in Mario Golf Super Rush, they do have, like, things such as an opening cutscene, a stage select, and more options to choose from, and different things like that, and it feels more fleshed out. But, yeah, I'm just really enjoying this game, even though it has some flaws. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.